Ladies and gentlemen, hello and a very good morning from Bangkok, Thailand. Today is a very special day for Southeast Asian aviation as low-cost giant Jetstar Asia will be ceasing operations later tonight. Now, we are currently on the way to the airport to be part of this special day where we'll be taking one of Jetstar Asia's very last flights all the way to Singapore. So come along, join us and enjoy. And here we are in Bangkok's main and biggest airport, Suvarnabhumi, with its infamous control tower. Now, this flight is going to be Jetstar Asia's last flight out of Thailand, so let's go in and check in for the very last time. Now, I've spent the last 2 weeks here in Bangkok with William, and I can say that it's a beautiful city, we had a lot of fun, so I'm sad but I'm also excited for today's flight. Speaking of, here it is, the 9:20 AM Jetstar flight to Singapore, number 3K512. Let's go over to the counter to check in. And here we are at the check-in counter. Now, Jetstar Asia was launched in 2004 as a joint venture between Qantas and local investors. For nearly 2 decades, it connected Singapore to cities across Asia with 16 different destinations. However, recently, due to rising competitions from airlines like AirAsia and Scoot, high operating costs, and a tough post-pandemic recovery, it made it harder for them to stay profitable. In 2025, the Qantas Group finally decided to refocus onto its more profitable core market in Australia and New Zealand with Jetstar Australia, and decided to close Jetstar Asia and relocate its fleet to the land down under. As of the recording of this video, Jetstar Asia officially ceased operation, marking the end of a chapter in Singapore's aviation history. Anyways, check-in is now complete, so let's make our way to our gate and board a historic flight. And here is our aircraft. Today, we will be taking this Airbus A320-200, registration 9 Victor Juliet Sierra Lima, all the way to Singapore. Built in 2014, the airframe is 14 years old and equipped with 2 IAE V2500 engines that will be taking us all the way south. Flight time to Singapore, approximately 2 hours. Now, this airframe entered the Singapore Aircraft Register in August 2011 under the ownership of BOC Aviation and has been leased and operated exclusively by Jetstar Asia Airways since its delivery to Singapore. Now, currently it is not in operation, but it is due to start operating in Australia under Jetstar Airways Australia under a new registration, which will be Victor Hotel X-Ray 3 Charlie. Let's see if we can spot in the future, it'll be fun. And here is our pushback truck. Now, I've always been so fascinated by the pure size and the pure power of these pushback trucks, so I just sat there and stared at it for a good 10 minutes. Anyways, the gate has opened, so let's go in and let's board the aircraft. Here we are walking down the jet bridge, and let's just take a moment to appreciate this airport's beautiful and unique architecture. It's so recognizable, and it honestly reminds me of Paris Charles de Gaulle, but I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments. Let's hop into this aircraft for the very last time out of Thailand. And here's the seat that will be taking me to Singapore. Now, I will be presenting this seat in further detail later in the video, so for now let's just look outside the window and settle in. And without further ado, the doors are closed and we are ready to go. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it on video, but while the doors were closing, the ground crew were clapping and were waving goodbye as they closed the doors on this Jetstar flight for the very last time. It was pretty sad to see, so for now let's just wait for the pushback to commence. Here we are, finally pushing back from our Charlie gates. We will now be getting ready for taxi, and because taxi time is relatively short, please enjoy this beautiful departure out of Bangkok Suvarnabhumi International Airport's runway 19. Now after that beautiful departure, as I promised earlier, here is a seat. At the top here we have a magazine compartment, and we also have a pretty normal extendable tray, which was pretty big in size. Now, however, one thing that was very a shame on this seat is that there were no seat back pockets, which is a bummer for me because it is one of the most useful things that I can have during a flight. However, the legroom was alright. Now, one thing that was very good is that the padding on the seat was actually very soft and very comfortable. I had some good rest on it, and I could see myself flying on this seat for a bit longer, so that's a plus for them. Now let's take a look at the menu. Jetstar actually offers a pretty big variety of different foods such as hot meals, cans and snacks, which is very impressive considering that they only operate medium to short haul flights. Now of course, like every other airline, there was a safety information card, pretty normal, nothing to say here. And in case you were not feeling well, they also had a sickness bag, again just like every other airline. They also had a pretty nice magazine on board which presented all the different cities and destinations that they offered, as well as hotels, attractions and many other things, which was very nice to have, especially on a low-cost carrier. Nice job Jetstar, now let's look at the rest. One thing that I spent a lot of time on was the destinations page where they presented all of their different destinations across all 3 of their branches, which included Jetstar Asia, Jetstar Australia and Jetstar Japan. Now it's really cool to see the wide variety of destinations that they have across Asia and Australia, but it is sad to see that the Jetstar Asia part will be disappearing tonight as of the video. After this, the captain made an emotional last announcement, so please listen up.
Later tonight, at around 9:30 p.m, once the last flight lands in Singapore, this airline will cease its operation. So for all of us here on board, this is our last landing into Singapore. A bit of a emotional flight. I would like to thank you for being with us and being loyal. This airline has I've been here for 21 years, and we were flying you safely all around in Southeast Asia for 21 years. We are going to continue doing this until the end of the day.
That was very sad to hear, but now let's go over to the bathroom to see how the condition is over there. And here it is. Now honestly, this was very basic but very clean and well maintained. The soap dispenser was almost empty but had a bit left, and I was a bit clumsy and didn't know how to use the water dispenser, but it turns out you just have to press it, so that is that, and it worked very well. Now the tissue was tucked up to the brim and very clean, so honestly nothing to say here. Very good job Jetstar, and keep it up. On this particular flight I got quite lucky and I had the whole row to myself, which meant that I could stretch out my legs awesome. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe as we offer a lot more content such as flight sim or even real life flying, and we have a lot coming up, so please subscribe and thank you for watching. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Now fortunately the flight went by really quick and we are already descending into Singapore, so please enjoy this beautiful landing into Singapore Changi Airport. And here we are, welcome to Singapore. Now this flight was very sad and very emotional, and it marked a big day for Singaporean aviation. So thank you so much for Jetstar for offering us these flights across Asia for the past 20 years, and we wish you best luck in Jetstar Australia and all of your other branches. Thank you for watching. You are watching Inopaviation, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.